Welcome to Crunchy Roast Bite, and then we trying to cook some, Mine, stop!
Why are you beating me up? You're doing good. Go ahead. What are we cooking?
We're cooking cornbread.
Yes, she said it best. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the best Jiffy cornbread in the world. And you will need some extra ingredients that's not on your Jiffy box. So let's get straight into the video. You'll need 2 boxes of Jiffy mix. One tablespoon of vanilla. And this will really bring out the flavor inside of the cornbread as well. So don't forget this. One tablespoon of baking powder. And what this does is it gives it a little bit more of a rise, and it adds so much moisture to your cornbread. I'm going to add a 1.5 cups of milk now and then 1/2 cup of milk later. But if you want to, you can add all 2 cups of milk now. It's not going to hurt the batter at all. And I'm using 2% milk. I always use 2%. Sometimes you might find me using the, the whole milk, but I rarely use whole milk. And almond milk would do great in this because I use almond milk as well in my cornbread. And I'm telling you guys, it doesn't taste any different. Now I'm going to use some sugar, and don't forget this step neither because it brings a little sweetness to your cornbread. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of regular sugar. Now the box asks for 2 eggs. Because I'm doing 2 boxes, it's 1 egg per box. But me personally, I literally use 3 eggs for 2 boxes. I just use an additional egg because I want it nice and moist. But this time, I'm not going to play too safe. I'm going to play safe. And I'm going to use only 2 eggs. And instead of oil, I'm just going to use straight butter. And I'm using 6 tablespoons of butter. You can even use a whole stick if you like the taste of butter. And it just melts in your mouth when you take that bite. And all you can taste is an explosion of butter and bread. Oh my gosh, yes. I had someone made some cornbread like that before, and I've never had any cornbread that great, and it's so awesome. So I feel like butter tastes better than oil. I wouldn't even use oil unless it's just to oil your pan, and I don't even do that. So I'm gonna mix everything in. I tried to use my blender, but my blender was just saying, nope, I'm giving up. I even found the other thing to it, but it's just... So I'm gonna use a spoon. You don't need anything else. You can use a spoon if you want to, or you can use one of your blenders. It still will do the job. And just keep blending it up until you don't see any more of the y'all know what I mean, the cornbread mix. And if you see lumps, just smash it out with your spoon. It's not gonna hurt you. Even if you pour it inside your bowl, it's not gonna hurt you. You might bite into it and just taste a little bit of the cornmeal, but like I said, it's not gonna hurt you. So mix everything in really well, and if you see lumps, 9 out of 10 times it might be just the butter. And here's a trick: if your batter seems a little bit too thick, what you need to do is gradually add a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of flour. What I'm adding is 1/2 tablespoon of flour. This is also going to add a lot of moisture to it and keep everything together, especially since if you add the 3 eggs, this will really, really help. And I'm just trying to thicken my batter. But the more flour you add to it, the more sugar you need to add to it by tablespoons. Add a tablespoon of flour and a teaspoon of sugar, if you get my drift. So that way the flour is just not overpowering the sugar. Now we're gonna stir everything up, and then once it's nice and thick like a cake batter, we want to add a tablespoon of butter and make sure it's melted to your pan. I don't have a regular pan, a regular cornbread pan, cake pan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my skillet. It's not a cast iron skillet. It is just a regular skillet, y'all. And I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of flour. Shake it all around in your pan until you see no more flour, and then shake it inside the trash can. Then add your batter to it. Once you add your batter to it, just kind of hit it on the counter. That way it can flatten out and then get all the holes out of your batter as well. And it's nice and flat. I'm going to put it in the oven on 375 for 25 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out and put some butter on top. That way it can keep it nice and moist and not dried out. Then we'll put it back in the oven for 15 minutes on 350 and just let it just kind of cool down and get cooked inside the middle of the cornbread. We're not really trying to make it brown anymore because it's nice and brown right now, but it's okay if it's going to get browner even more. But lower that temperature on your oven to 350. Now my cornbread is ready to come out the oven. I'm going to glaze it down with some more butter a little bit. Doesn't matter how much butter you use. I'm not really going to use that much. I'm just going to kind of make it golden. Then I'm going to let it sit on this pan for about 10 minutes. That way it can cool down. Run the knife around your cornbread. That way to keep from sticking. After that, I'm going to transfer the cornbread to a plate by just flipping it over and then flipping it over to another plate. And I'm going to cut the cornbread. My advice is use 3 eggs on this cornbread if you're using 2 boxes. And especially if you follow the recipe step by step of what I just showed you, use 3 eggs. And I'm telling you, you will not regret it. But this cornbread still tasted great. And this is what it came out. Very tasty, very moist, sweet. It was just perfect. And it's good for chilies, gravies, all types of stuff. So, and especially for Thanksgiving and the holidays, if you like that type of cornbread. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. I love you.
Love you guys. See you next time.